I'd like to call to order the town board. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Here.
Trustee Fisher?
Here.
Trustee McKinney?
Here.
Trustee Deteen?
Here.
Chairman Neal?
Here. Mr. Bremner, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is agenda changes. I just want to make a note that on item 11, the magazine, there will be no approval necessary. It'll just be a conversation. And then on item number 13, New Tech internship presentation and approval, they were not able to make it, but I will be sharing your information for them. So, and that. Moving on to item number 5, approval of the, oh, sorry, do we need to make a motion? Oh, is there a motion to accept those changes?
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the March meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 6, citizens' comments. Are there any citizens' comments this evening?
Madam Supervisor, honorable sirs, gentle lady, last week at the annual township meeting, as a moderator, I put forth my opinion regarding a quarterly magazine. I was blunt to the point of rudeness. I apologize for my mannerism. Since then, the supervisor has been gracious enough to sit down with me and explain the entire situation to the point where I now fully comprehend the whole project. At this point, I am sullen but no longer mutinous. Again, ma'am, I do apologize for my speech last week. I humbly ask you all to accept my apologies. Thank you, ma'am. Permission to stand down.
Thank you very much, sir. And just to share, what I told Mr. Bremner is that he owes no apology. He was absolutely in his right as a citizen to share his frustration with how he viewed the situation, and it helped me to know, and sitting down to find out what are some of the miscommunications that are going on with that, and it helped me to see how that happened, and I really appreciate our dialogue. So thank you for making the time to sit down with me. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Are there any other citizens' comments? Okay. So moving on. Item 7, authorize bills for payment. Trustee Deteen.
I had the opportunity to visit with the township supervisor and the township assessor today, and we talked about things that pertain to money. And I respectfully ask that you approve the request to pay $69,127 $65 for the total bills.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any questions about any of it? Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Item 8 is to receive and place on file the 2018 Zion Township Annual Report. Each of you have one, and Larry, did you get one?
I did.
Okay, good. This was really the first year that my team and I spent trying to tell the story of what we do so that residents can know how we can better serve them. And I want to share how proud I am of the work that we've been able to do through Zion Township. One of the numbers that I've been sharing is that we brought in over $150,000 for residents through doing our LAHEAP applications on Tuesdays. The way that we do them prior, the way that normal, right, is that people make an appointment. It's a 30-minute appointment. They come in and they get the application processed. And when we did that, right, 30 minutes at a time, we were able to see, maybe 8 people a day. And it took up time for that we could be applying to general assistance appointments, emergency assistance appointments, and resource appointments. And so the creativity of my team to realize that if we put all hands on deck for 2 hours a week, what we could do, and we're able to process up to 22 applications a week. And being able to do that just means that we're able to connect more residents with more resources that are struggling. And I'm really, really proud of that. And in the report, we keep track of how many calls we get, how many people come in, and the services that we provide, and all of that is in the centerfold on page 7 of the different services. And the services that we've been able to provide have gone up so substantially in this last year. And I really do give it credit to when you find a flow with a good team and everybody's on the same page for wanting to do the best work that we can. It's amazing what you can get accomplished. So I just really want to give kudos to my team and how hard they work and how dedicated they are to serving the residents of the community. This annual report is available on our website. We also have copies available in our office. If anybody would like one, we would love to share that with you. So I just want to showcase that. One of the other numbers that I love is senior birthday cards. We sent out last year 922 senior birthday cards. And it costs the township a stamp, right? The adults with disabilities at North Point Resources, they make the cards for us. Culver's donates the custard. CJ's donates the donut. The library donates a tchotchke to put in the envelope as well. And, well, we do pay for the birthday confetti, right? So we put in birthday confetti with every card. And I've shared this story before, but I had one senior call me, and she said, do you know how long you've been doing this? Like, I gotta be honest with you, no, I don't know when we started it. And she said, well, I can tell you exactly how long. I'm like, how can you? She said, because I've got every single birthday card taped to my refrigerator. It's the only card that I ever get. And it means everything to me that I get it. So, it's something small. There was actually some talks about cutting it when we were cutting budget, and I'm really grateful that didn't get cut, because just making sure people know that they matter and that the township's there for them when they need help is really important to us. So proud of that. Anybody that wants a copy, like I said, we have hard copies at the township, or it will be available online. Is there a motion to receive and place on file the Zion Township 2018 annual report?
So moved. Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Next item is consider approval to increase general assistance stipend for Supervisor Neal. So I received a notice from township officials of Illinois that DHS had raised their stipend, and ours matches theirs, at least has to match theirs. The state statute says based on general, the monthly payment level for an adult case is the greater of $304 or is set by the General Assistance Office based on current available funds and guidelines from the state. That's what the state manual has. And since I've been in this position for 18 years, the amount has always been $250. And so the funds for this, individuals who have no income and no means of an income, they come to the township, and that's what the General Assistance program is for. If an individual has children, they go through the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program. If they're disabled, they go for disability. If they're veterans, they go through Veterans Assistance. Some of those programs could take years to be able to get approved for. And so in the meantime, Zion Township provides the program General Assistance, and the individual currently gets $250 a month. In vouchers, so it's whether to pay for their rent, their utilities, different things at a life maintenance. So individuals that are working to get back into the workforce, we have separate funds available to help with different job training things, medical, those types of things, right? But the actual stipend is just to help them, and they get to choose where that money goes to help them. with just getting by for the month. But everything is in a voucher form. Nobody gets cash for anything. They can get all these gift cards as part of it, different things, but they can only use all these gift cards for specific things. They can't use it for like alcohol or different things like that. That said, they raised that minimum amount to $304. And meeting with Adriana Ortiz, my case manager, what she requested is that we raise the stipend to $350 a month. And that number is based on the likelihood that somebody could find a room to rent for $350 instead of ending up on the street or doing those other things. So a lot of townships have full reign over what they would like to do. The recommendation is it's at least $304, and then some townships give a lot more money if they're in, because it's based on really housing, if they're able to find housing. So yeah, I would like to propose that we raise the general assistance stipend beginning May 1st from $250 a month to $350 a month.
You've given some good reasons to do it. Do we have the money in our budget to do it?
We do. Yes, we do. So we have to have, if an individual comes in and applies for general assistance, you have to provide it. You don't have any choice. That is the state mandated program that we have to provide. We have not, you can see from our financials this month, when I find them. And so so far this year, under general assistance, under that line item, that's the Flant grant item, and we've spent about 52% of those funds. So we have $45,000 allocated for it, and we've spent $23,388.46. It's my full, and I know that we have got so many people in this community that qualify for this program. And what I love about this program the most is it's not just a stipend that they get our office's support to help them move to the next level in their life. And the successes that we've had are just, they're what keep us going. It's our goal to help people get off, whether they get on Social Security disability or whether they get into the workforce, one or the other. And it's our goal to get people, up and off services as quickly as possible. So we do have the funding for it. I think this will help to boost people up more, right? To be able to have a little bit more, $250. It feels like it's almost a joke to me. To be able to really help somebody, but I feel like $350, they could at least go to somebody that rents, is willing to rent a room and help them to get independent so that they can build up their own.
A question about when you say they can rent a room, are there stipulations that go with the voucher?
No.
No.
Well,
I mean, in terms of if you're moving into a home, or moving into a room, regulations to be followed within that.
Yes, we have to have the landlord's approval.
Yes.
Right, and so there's actually an affidavit that the landlord has to sign saying that it's okay for that person to be, sharing costs with somebody else that's living in the apartment.
Okay.
Yeah, it can't fall under any of the housing issues or anything like that.
About how many people do we have on public assistance right now, or general assistance?
If you look at our monthly report, last month we had general assistance, we had 19 appointments. We have 14 that are approved for general assistance. We also had 3 application pickups, 2 that were submitted, and then we have the breakdown for additional resources that we provided. So last month, the majority of the resources that we provided outside of the flat grant was for transportation to help people get to work and to appointments and that kind of thing.
So with the mandate that if somebody applies and qualifies, we have to provide it, would this extend, if we raise it to $350, will it extend us beyond our ability to pay?
No, we don't believe so at all. We think that it will fall within the range of what we can physically handle and what we have in the budget.
All right. If we run out of budgeted funds, what's our recourse?
We transfer it from another fund.
Okay.
Yeah. And we do have, we have the $25,000 that we have to have as a set aside for the medical. If there's a medical catastrophic situation where we have to provide medical for the general assistance client, we have a $25,000 deductible. So we always have that in the budget as a set aside just in case. And so generally we don't ever go over, and with knock on wood, we haven't had to use those funds yet, so.
All right, I'll make the motion that we increase the general assistance stipend to $350.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? I really think this is gonna help the clients that we're helping, and it's interesting, people that don't want help don't come to the township for general assistance, because you have to make it to your appointments, there's different things that you have to do job searches, job training down at the job center, Lake County. We hook individuals up that have a criminal background. We connect them with Johnny Jenkins at Waukegan Township to help find jobs that will work around and help them to deal with their criminal background. So it's by no means a cakewalk, right? Individuals have to do the work in order to want to do that. I had one individual, I was working the front desk the other day, and he came in, and I asked him what it meant to him, and he said, you have no idea. I said, what? He said, we're all so alone out here trying to figure out how to do this, and to have somebody like your team that's willing to support us and encourage us and help us figure out the next step. He said, it's priceless. Right? I was like, okay, so why aren't more people coming? He was like, because some people aren't willing to do the work to get it, but if they are, they need to come to you. So that meant a lot, coming from one of the residents. So any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion on the table. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen? Chairman Hill?
Aye. Next item on the agenda is consider approval of van purchase. So I've been doing a lot of work on the idea of the van for the summer work program, and I have a few things in front of you. So I went online to look for a van if we were to purchase a used van. And I have an example here that's 16,000 miles and the price was $32,149. And then equally, I went through Enterprise to try and to see what it would cost us to rent the van for the 6 weeks, and they came back with a price of $5,267. And I have that estimate for you as well. So those were the two options, and then I went through the state bid program, and the auto dealership that we would be working through would be Landmark Ford in Springfield, and their final cost for a T350, and I have the list of the things included with it, would be $33,849, which is what? I have too many papers here. Oh, it's on this side. Which is $1,000 more than the transit van that has the miles on it. And so my thought behind it, so I'm going to be meeting with the My Father's Business board on Thursday evening. And what I would like to propose to them, and I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are. So if we had to pay, if we were to round it to just say that it was $35,000 for this van, right? What do you think would be a fair partnership to ask My Father's Business to contribute to the partnership? I mean,
What's been the split proposed in the past?
we were just talking about, we were just talking about both of us trying to figure out how to do it, and
Because they're gonna be using the van on, is it gonna be like a weekly basis, or?
they use it for their kids with their basketball program to give kids rides home, when they go to a basketball tournament, different things
Right.
like that.
So on balance, who's going to operate the vehicle more?
They would, I'm sure they would be operating it more. That's the whole reason I want to partner, because I don't want to have the township purchase a van that we're going to use for 6 weeks out of the year and then 1 day a month for the Red Hat trips, right? It feels like it's a waste of a vehicle to sit there the rest of the year.
Right.
So I don't know how often they would use it, but they would have access to it the rest of that time.
So,
Are we gonna rent it to them, or are they gonna joint purchase.
So that's what we're gonna talk to them, and we're gonna talk about on Thursday night. The gist that I'm kind of getting from people, or from everybody that I talked to, is that I would recommend that the township really be the owner of it. And that we ask them to, to pay a portion, and we have a lease agreement that, they have full reign, and that we work out those pieces. That was kind of the gist that I got from the board. Is that?
I think that would probably be the cleanest option, is that it would be a township vehicle, and that we would be leasing it to the organization, and that would factor in what we're paying for the vans, paying for the van and also for maintenance.
What I really appreciate about this specific partnership is that the kids that this organization is working with, it really is a general assistance prevention program, just like our summer work program. It's a program to help the kids make different decisions so that they never need to be at the township for other services. So the investment in just having a vehicle to help them, it feels like a really good win-win-win situation.
So, are you looking for approval prior to knowing what the results of your discussion are with my father's business?
I would love a recommendation, what you guys would feel comfortable with me proposing to them.
I agree with what Commissioner Fisher has said about a lease agreement. The dollar amount, I think, just needs to be calculated based on what other vehicles are leased at.
Well, and including.
Based on, I'm not saying exactly the same, based on.
Right.
And that would be including, if we're thinking all the same, the cost of the lease as well as maintenance and insurance.
Insurance.
Yes.
Obviously.
And a lease agreement is a lot more cost effective than renting, an enterprise rental here. So, if you went to a dealership and decided to lease a vehicle, there's a monthly amount that you pay. There's an amount you pay up front, and then a monthly amount that you pay. So I would, figure out something comparable that is within their
Within their budget.
Within their budget.
Yeah. But I think it would be a good partnership. I think it's a good way to support a non-governmental agency and that's doing good work. So, and we do need the van for the summer work program.
I found out today that there's a very slim chance that we'll have it by the time the summer work program starts, which breaks my heart. So I'll be going to them to also say, can we keep that ESDA bus limping along for a couple more weeks with our kids too? So yeah, it's not good. So kind of what the number I was thinking that would be a nice, clean way would be to ballpark and ask them if they could focus on coming up with $15,000 to contribute to the purchase of the van. And then we have the agreement that they seek grants and funding, organizations to be able to come up with that amount, and then the township covers the insurance and the maintenance on the vehicle. Would you be comfortable with that, unless we come up with another monthly amount? Or?
So you're just going to propose that to them, 15,000?
Well, just as one suggestion, just if they wanted to focus on one number that they had to come up with funding for, so that they don't have to try and figure out a monthly payment and those types of things. What do you think?
If it's comparable to what a lease arrangement would be, yeah, I mean, you can figure out the total cost of something, and they can pay it up front if they want, raise money for it. Have you looked at custom vehicles? That they're based on the chassis of a T350 or T450 or something like that, but there's a custom body. So there's RV places that build custom vehicles, and you might want to see if that's a little bit cheaper. Kind of like the style of the Park District and the style that Christ Community Church has. That's a custom vehicle.
Right. And you think we could get it for less than this?
I would check. Yeah, just
Would you mind helping me check?
sure.
Okay, that would be wonderful. Yeah, because I'm not sure where I would even start.
Yeah, there's a place in Indiana that builds them.
Okay, so would you be willing to reach out and just see what their
Sure.
ballpark cost is? That would be awesome, thank you. Okay, so I will bring it back at the next meeting with hopefully a proposal from them, see what works, and go from there, and I'll get some of these. Thank you, that's a good idea to work that through. Okay, next item is consider approval of ZB Magazine collaboration per Chairman Neal. Just for clarification with everybody, I know that people heard the $40,000 number and went, "What are you doing? We don't have that kind of money. We don't," and we don't have that kind of money. None of us have that kind of money. But just for clarification's sake, one magazine to go out to 16,100 residents would run about $10,000. The cost per page it's like $378 per page. So we spend those funds on marketing anyway, right? If you do an ad in the ZB magazine, you pay more than that for any ad that you were to do. So this provides for a collaborative effort to have everybody put information out that the residents need to know that right now residents, the only way you can get that information is if you go to the website, if you go search through the Facebook, other stuff to find nuggets of information that matter. Some of the other ways. So this would be a substantive way that the taxing bodies could actually educate residents on the services and the programs that are available, some of the rules and regulations, some of the things that go on with pets and the animal control stuff and the different things, as well as programs that are available at the township. So we're just continuing to walk through. We don't know if it's going to happen. We're just doing due diligence to see if it can work. And I really appreciate the board's support with walking through to see if this can work. And I'm going to try and make it to the next focus group that the city has next Wednesday and share some of the information to get some input before we move forward with that. But I wanted to update you on that. Well, excellent. So then, so the next item is the tax objection recommendation per Attorney Scott Nemenek. So with the ongoing tax objection situation, it was settled for $17,800. I would like to make a recommendation that we actually pay that out of our budget for this year, so that it keeps us out of the same situation next year with having, I think we're over by like $3,000 according to their 1.1 mark. We will never have that situation again, but if we pay those funds out of this year's budget, it will drop us below that, and then we will not have that issue again. So
moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Next item is the new tech internship presentation and proposal. So the girls just left at 5:30. They all had events that they had to go to. But I've been working with these 4 interns, and their goal is to create a website that, and we actually met with Ron L. Pipes today and Stephen Angelos, and they want to do it under the Zion Together website, and have a link that lists each of the taxing bodies, right? So it would list Zion Township. It would give an abstract about what the township does and some of the key programs that we do, and then it would list each elected official. What the compensation is for the position, what their responsibilities are, in order to run for office, right? What's that word? You guys know there's qualifications. Good word. The qualifications to run for that position, as well as have each elected official provide
Excuse me, Supervisor.
Yeah.
Can we get
Excuse
some
me.
quiet in here, please?
Yeah, you guys, we have a meeting going on in here right now. The city council meeting actually starts at 7 o'clock. This is the Zion Township Board meeting, so we would love to have you listen in.
We
Thanks.
welcome you, but we are trying to conduct business here, so
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Fisher. So what the girls wanted to do was each page would have each taxing body, and it would have each of our picture, our biography, our resume, and our why statement, why we wanted to serve on the board and what we do. There's 3 reasons for this. One is, and it was really incredible because the girls sat down and they were like, so we've got this in our constitution it says we the people, but it's not that way anymore, right? It's us against them. And what people the adults in our community are forgetting that the people that we're electing are our neighbors, and we're forgetting that, right? And they wanted to create a means to be able to go to a website and say, something happened at the Park District, and I don't know anything about the Park District, but be able to go to Zion Together and click on the link for the Park District, and it says what the Park District does, the abstract about it, and then who all the Park District board members are. So then they see a picture of people, and oh my gosh, this is my neighbor, and to help them feel more connected to each of the taxing bodies. And as well, what we decided was we would also put for concerns, please contact, for the Park District, Marilyn Krieger, or, whoever. But it would have a page for each of the Zions, so it would have the township, the city, the Park District, the library, the high school, and the grade school district, and a page for each of those. And so they asked if they could start with the township and make that page first, and then get your guys' approval, and then move on to the city, and then work with the other taxing bodies to do theirs. So curious thoughts about that.
Yeah, we discussed this a few weeks ago. I think it's a good idea, and it's a great project for the students or dance and everything.
And as long as it's connecting all of the entities, because one of the things that we talked about is there's just so much chatter out there with the different websites, and it's almost sensory overload. So if we can condense things to kind of one funnel of communication, it would help with the communication with the residents on all levels.
Well, in meeting with Ron L. Pipes today and Stephen Angelos, what they want to do is they want to make the umbrella Zion Together. So it would all be under that one site. So the residents that are going for the Zion Together accreditation, it would also be under that same page. Because the whole point of Zion Together is to engage and empower and elevate our community through resident engagement. So, excellent. So is there a motion to approve supporting?
I'll make that motion to support the internship presentation.
Excellent. Is there a second?
Yep, second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Assessors report.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming in to listen to the assessor's report. Never had this many people here. There's some good news and some bad news. The tax bills will probably be mailed out the second week of May. The tax rates are out, so I was going to kind of go over the tax rates with you guys. The tax rates for the all Zion schools, it was 19.092496. Now it's 17.584232. That's a 1.086 decrease in the tax rate. For the Beach Park schools, it was 16.272865. It is 15.550873. That's a decrease of 1.046%. The good news is the values are all going up in the township. The bad news is that all tax bills will be going up also. The values are going up faster than the tax rates are going down. So whenever you see that, that means there's going to be an increase in your tax bill. Which means that if you're a senior, you need to sign up for the senior freeze, because the last 3 years there's been a decrease in the tax rates, and that would mean that your assessments would, or your tax bill would go down. So if you're 65 years old and you make less than $65,000, make sure you sign up for the senior freeze. And it doesn't hurt to call our office or check online to make sure that you're getting all the exemptions that you deserve. And there's the homestead exemption. If you live in the house, you automatically get a $6,000 exemption. If you're a senior and you live in the house, you get a $5,000 exemption. And if you're a senior and you're 65 years old and you make less than $55,000, your assessment's frozen. It's really important to make sure that you have these exemptions, because if not, you're just throwing money away. So if you have any questions, you can go online, you can call my office, or you can call the county. Thank you.
Larry, do you have an estimate of the increase in the EAV this time around?
I do not, because this is the reassessment year, so everything is going to be revalued. I'll be looking at all subdivisions or all neighborhoods in a different manner, seeing what the sales are showing for those neighborhoods. Some neighborhoods are going to go up 10%, some are going to go up 2%. It just depends on what the sales show within that neighborhood.
Any other questions for Larry? Next item on the agenda, so far I buried it, is the supervisor's report. Just a few things. Tomorrow is Senior Resource Day. It starts at 8:30 a.m. It runs until about 11:30 a.m. Any of you that are available, would love to have you stop by and see it. There was a little bit of an issue. The Zion Park District Sports Arena sprung a leak in their roof with the heavy snow, and so they had to reconfigure it. So Sandra was over there half the day trying to figure out the best approach to making sure that it can still happen. Park District was awesome. They've got it set. So we have 47 vendors that will be there. And we generally have around 200 seniors that come to the event. So anybody in the audience, anybody that you know of, any seniors, Cal, you crossed that line. You are now a senior, right? We'd love to see you tomorrow.
So what constitutes a senior?
We don't card anybody at the door, so you're good no matter what age you are. If you want to come and check it out, we put together, I'm bragging on my team, but the best, and I wanted to have them here tonight, but she brought them all over there before I could get to them. We put together a senior resource guide that you use throughout the year. It's got information on every one of the vendors that are at the event, their contact information, what they do, so that you can keep that throughout the year to be able to reach the agencies that are at the event. So it's a really good program. Lots of goodies. The Grove at the Lake provides donuts and coffee in the morning, and then sandwiches in the afternoon. We've had 100% people like the lunches. The kids from Zion Central Middle School come over and serve the meal, and with the vendors and the seniors, it's really a good day. So would love to have you guys stop by and check that out. Second thing to share is Zinnias for Zion is up and going. We have got Andrew Cook Magnet School is growing zinnias for us in their greenhouse in Waukegan. We have a number of locations that would love to be adopted by anybody. You can adopt a planter along Emmaus. You can adopt a bigger site on Shiloh Boulevard. One of the cuts that the city of Zion had to make was the position of doing the planting and the landscaping maintenance. So a way that we're trying to combat that is just to have individuals that will actually maintain one individual site. You can adopt one welcome sign, or there's a list of them at zinniasforzion.com. Looking forward to having the entire community covered in zinnias this summer. We have donations from Joyful Butterfly and Ball Horticulture Company. So we've got, I think they donated, what we count, like 621,500 seeds from Ball Horticulture Company. And we have an array of different kinds. So anybody that's interested, we would love to have you stop by Zion Township and pick up seeds. Summer work program. We have the Job Center of Lake County. So the township puts to work 35 youth. The Job Center of Lake County pays the salary for those youth. So there's a ton of paperwork and interviews that they have to do with them. And we are the only community that we have a partnership with the Job Center of Lake County. They come to Zion Township and process all of that paperwork for our families in one day. At the same time, while they're doing their paperwork, we actually meet with the parents, make sure the parents understand that this is their child's first job and that it is really important that they not step in and do that for them, that if the kid can't make work, that the kid has to call, that it's the kid's responsibility to get to work. If the parent can't make it, they have to figure out how to get to work. So it's building those responsibilities up, as well as making sure the parents know the different resources we have at the township to help them if they're struggling in any area. Most recently we have Cynthia Linke and Princesses and Ladies are providing counseling for individuals, youth, and families at the township. So we keep trying to bring more resources in to help families have a more quality life. So we've got that going on. And then just the last thing to share is that April 25th is the anniversary of the Red Hat Society, and the Queen Bees of Zion Red Hat Society will be out at Zogo's restaurant from 2 until 3:30. Brenda Lawler from Remax Realty, her and her mother Judy Easterday come out, and they I don't know what they're going to do. It's some game, something like Bunko, but something not, because the seniors don't like to get up and move from table to table, so they've got it all figured out. So if you want to see a laugh, stop by Zogo's on April 25th, and between 2 and 3:30. We have a 95, okay, she'll be 95 in September, so I'm lying if I call her 95. But she's our yodeler, and she's hysterical. I mean, it's just an incredible group.
Are you informing us about this so that we can avoid that location?
Well, it depends on your taste, right? If you want to come for the entertainment, or if you want to stay as far away, you can do either one of those. So, but it's just, you know, I had a couple of seniors come to me back in 2004 and ask me if I would help them do that, and I told them they didn't need my help to do it, and what they really wanted my help with was to get the park district to give me the keys to the bus so that they could do a trip once a month. So that's how this whole baby started. We had 82 women in this group, and the women that come out, and they were involved with just doing so many volunteer projects in the community, Meals on Wheels, the Shiloh House for Christmas, they man that. It's just turned into just a really good way for a lot of our seniors to feel like they're part of something where they get to make a good difference. So really proud of that. So if you get a chance,
And
stop
you don't
by.
actually have to be a senior to be a part of it. It's 50, right?
Well, it's 50 to be a red hat, or you can
Yeah.
be a pink hat or below 50. So when I turned 50, they had a graduation for me. So I got to start wearing red when I turned 50. So it was fun. So yeah. So there's just one last thing. We got a couple of minutes left. It's the last meeting for two of our trustees tonight. And I just want to publicly, from the bottom of my heart, thank Lloyd Deteen for your wisdom and your guidance and your support and your hard questions and your willingness to scrutinize the financials and make sure that like what we were doing was right, and to be willing to disagree with me and help me to find the better answer all along. We haven't always gotten along, but we grew an affinity towards each other.
Well, I know you've shed a few tears after you bawled me out. But it's been a good experience for me. I'm going to miss being able to come over there and visit with you, go over the bills and with the assessor. It's just been a good experience. And then the other trustees are fine people. They're interested in our community. And I think Zion is going to be glad the way things turned out. And I'm looking forward to see things come together. We have a new mayor-elect. I'm getting to sit near somebody that's famous for a few more days. And I appreciate Billy's willingness to step up and say, I want to be mayor of this city. Billy come home from wherever he was traveling around the world and decided that he wanted to be back in Zion, Illinois. So I want to thank him for that. And Mike McDowell, he travels all over the world all the time for Christ Community Church. And Chris, he travels the road between here and Chicago every day and brings home the bacon. So, and he's a great guy. I like and respect all of them. Cheryl, I can't go on and on and on, but Cheryl, our city clerk, is just a wonderful person. She does a lot of work that a lot of people wouldn't do. She puts up with a lot of stuff that a lot of people shouldn't have to put up with, but she does. So I'm thankful for this experience, this lifelong experience that I have. June the 10th, 1957, I started working for the city of Zion.
Wow.
And I went away for... I skipped a beat for a while, about 15 years.
Wow.
And served in 2 other communities.
We've got 2 minutes left in the meeting. We can't hear your whole resume.
I'll get going.
And I want to talk about Billy a minute and take a picture.
I'm glad that we're in. And I'm thankful for Sherry. She is a leader. Unusual person, she is. She has a lot of energy and a lot of zip and go, and I think that under her leadership, the township has moved forward. We haven't always agreed, as she pointed out, but I can't remember being married for 56 years to my wife that we always agreed. And so Sherry is a great person, and I'm honored to have been able to serve with you, Sherry. Thank you.
And the other trustee that I'm going to be losing, and I get to get him as a partner in crime in another way, is Billy McKinney as our trustee. He'll be moving into the mayor position, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for serving as a trustee and I love the camaraderie of this team, and I know that whoever fills these seats, we will have that same camaraderie, but thank you so much.
And,
And so, thank you. And with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Motion is second. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Trustee Matteen?
No. Aye.
Threw her off, didn't it?
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Meeting adjourned.